stop what you're doing and look at this. This isn't a prop from a sci-fi movie. It is the GEVI BrewOne 4-in-1, and it's probably the most ambitious piece of coffee tech I've ever had on my counter. Now, if you followed the journey of this machine, you know the hardware has always been stunning, but the software, let's just say it was a bit of a mad scientist experience. But today is different. GEVI just rolled out a massive UI update that changes everything. They finally bridged the gap between elite barista-level precision and the I just woke up and need caffeine simplicity we actually need. In this video, I'm diving deep into why this update makes the BrewOne feel like a brand new machine. We're talking about a system that integrates a commercial grade grinder, a precision scale, and a rotating pour over head all into one seamless flow. If you've ever wanted that perfect blooming hand-poured taste without the 20-minute ritual and the mountain of separate gear, you're going to want to see this. I've been testing the new interface for weeks, and I've got some honest thoughts on whether this is finally the future of coffee we were promised. Stick around because we're brewing a cup right now to see if the results actually live up to the hype. Let's talk about the brain of this thing. If you saw the original launch of the BrewOne, you know the interface was ambitious but clunky. It felt like you needed a computer science degree just to get a cup of coffee. But the UI update is a total 180. The 3.5-inch TFT touchscreen is now buttery smooth. They've streamlined the workflow from an exhausting 18 steps down to just 5 intuitive taps. You've got a beginner mode that's basically a set it and forget it dream, but then there's the barista mode. This is where the tech geeks will lose their minds. You get real-time digital graphs and progress bars that show you exactly where you are in the brew cycle. It doesn't just tell you it's brewing, it shows you the extraction phase, the flow rate, and the wait in real time. It's snappy, responsive, and finally feels like the premium tech it was always meant to be. Now, let's get into the science of the heat. Most high-end drip machines claim to have good temperature control, but the BrewOne uses a PID+NTC system. For those who aren't tech nerds, PID is basically an algorithm that constantly checks and adjusts the heat so it never fluctuates. We're talking about a range of 176 degrees Celsius to 210 degrees Celsius to 8 to 99 degrees. With the update, the heating algorithm has been refined to be even more aggressive. The 1000 WR system now hits your target temp in under 2 minutes. That's incredibly fast for a machine that's heating the water to such a precise degree. Why does this matter? Because if your water is even 2 degrees off, you're either scorching your light roasts or failing to extract the sweetness from your dark roasts. The BrewOne lets you save these temps down to the individual degree in your custom recipes. So if you find that perfect sweet spot for a specific Ethiopian bean at exactly 202 degrees, you can lock it in. The machine also features a preheating prompt the second you turn it on, ensuring the internal pipes and the rotating head are up to temp before the first drop even touches your coffee. This level of thermal stability used to be reserved for $3,000 espresso machines, but having it here in a pour-over format is a total game changer for the home barista. If you are a coffee enthusiast, you know the grinder is actually more important than the brewer itself. Most all-in-one machines skimp here, throwing in a cheap set of conical burrs and calling it a day. But the GEVI BrewOne is different. It features 60mm SU F429J2 stainless steel flat burrs. These are commercial grade heavy-duty burrs designed for maximum particle uniformity. Unlike conical burrs that can produce a lot of fines, those tiny dust-like particles that make your coffee taste muddy, these flat burrs create a consistent flake-like grind that allows the water to flow through perfectly. It's the kind of hardware you usually only see in standalone grinders that cost as much as this whole machine. One of the coolest things about the BrewOne is the massive range of control you have. There is a physical dial on the side with 51 distinct grind settings. This covers everything from a super fine texture for a concentrated AeroPress shot all the way up to a chunky coarse grind for French press or cold brew. For pour over specifically, you have this massive sweet spot in the middle of the range where you can micro adjust. If your brew is tasting a little too bitter, you click it 1 notch coarser. If it's too sour or watery, go 1 notch finer. The tactile feedback on the dial is great. It feels like a piece of lab equipment, not a kitchen appliance. The UI update really unlocked the potential of this grinder. You aren't just hitting a start button. You can choose from 4 different grinding modes: free grinding, grinding by cups, grinding by time, and my personal favorite, grinding by weight. Because the machine has that built-in scale, you can tell it, I want exactly 22 grams of coffee, and it will grind until the scale hits that number and then stop. It's incredibly efficient and means you aren't wasting expensive beans by over grinding. Let's be real, the worst part of grinding at home is the mess. Static usually sends coffee grounds flying everywhere, and retention, coffee getting stuck inside the machine, means your first cup of the day is full of yesterday's stale grounds. GEVI engineered this with a vertical path and anti-static technology that keeps the grounds falling straight down into the filter. It's remarkably clean. Plus, it operates under 70 dB, which is surprisingly quiet. You can actually have a conversation in the kitchen while it's running without feeling like you're at a construction site. It's fast, it's precise, and with that new UI, it finally feels like the grinder and the brewer are perfectly in sync. This is the magic part. Instead of a standard drip shower head, the BrewOne uses 3 rotating spouts that mimic a barista's circular pouring motion. You can actually program the RPM, rotations per minute, and the flow rate in ML size. This ensures the coffee bed is evenly saturated every single time, preventing those dry pockets or channeling issues that usually ruin automatic brewers. It's mesmerizing to watch, but more importantly, it results in a remarkably clean and sweet cup. One of the most frustrating things about manual pour over is finally hitting that god tier cup and then forgetting exactly what you did. The recipe manager on the BrewOne is your new best friend. It allows you to save and name your custom creations. Think Sunday morning Ethiopia or midnight dark roast. The update made this incredibly visual. You can actually see your pour curves and temperature stages saved as a profile. When you want that exact same cup tomorrow, you just tap the name and the machine replicates every single variable. The grind weight, the water temp, and the rotation speed with 100% precision. It's like having a save state for your taste buds. Now, pour over usually implies a single serve ritual, but GEVI actually built in batch modes that handle up to 4 cups, about 600 ml at once. Here's the clever part. The machine doesn't just pour more water, it scales the recipe logic. In the new UI, you can toggle between 1, 2, 3, or 4 cups, and the system automatically adjusts the grind time and the pouring rhythm to ensure the larger coffee bed is saturated just as evenly as a single cup. It's perfect for when you have a guest over but don't want to spend 20 minutes standing over the sink.
So, at the end of the day, whether you're chasing that perfect Sonic-style crunch or you just need a machine that can keep up with a massive backyard party, there is finally a countertop option that actually does the job without the headache. I've dropped the links to all these machines in the description below. And since I'm always hunting for a deal, those are affiliate links that'll get you these at a serious discount while helping support the channel. If this deep dive helped you pick your next kitchen upgrade, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next teardown. Let me know in the comments which one is landing on your counter. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.